Welcome to episode 4 of the Whimsical Rant, the world's fastest paced podcast. It's the ultimate podcast for people with short attention spans. I'm David Hammertime Hamley, a comedian from Melbourne.
And I'm David Casey Boy Kaye-Smith, a long-time friend of the great, really great Hammertime, currently based in Brisbane.
Without any further ado, let's cut to the chase.
Let the rant begin. Over the past few months, Hammertime and I have been in furlough mode. Only kidding, that is of course not possible because Hammertime and I do not have jobs.
However, I have been in lockdown mode in Victoria. I've never had to go the full PPE, but I do cut a mean figure in my green masks if I do say so myself.
I, on the other hand, have been living the dream in Brisbane. Cinemas, restaurants, bars, they've all been open. And I can confirm that I've been no closer than 1,373 kilometres to Melbourne.
Wow, KB, that's what I call social distancing. But it's all changed in Victoria now. We've had 15 straight days of zero cases. Our cinemas, restaurants and bars are all open. And soon the borders will be open. We'll be able to fly, Robin, fly, up to the sky. But enough of obscure pop culture references. Let's get things started with joke of the day. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews walked up to the counter of his local fruit shop. He said, "Good morning, Mavis. How are you?" She said, "Hello, Premier. I didn't think you'd recognise me." He said, "Mavis, I never forget a mask." Boom, boom! What a sparkling wit.
Hammertime, that Dan the man's a real people person.
He is indeed, KB. And I'll tell you someone else who's a real people person. It's KB, the motivational guru. Last time, Casey Boy inspired us with his ingenious tip to ride a bike to keep fit during the pandemic. It was groundbreaking stuff. In this episode, KB is going to talk about the health benefits of
Pilates.
What are the benefits of Pilates, oh motivational guru?
It improves flexibility, strength, balance, and body awareness.
Wow, you really know your stuff, KB. What a brilliant summary.
Thanks, Hammertime. I found it on a website.
How was your Pilates class last night, KB?
I didn't go.
Why?
It was raining, so I took a nap instead.
Well, at least you used the time constructively. KB, you've done it again. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings.
Thanks, HT.
Don't thank me, KB. Thank Bette Midler. She's a huge fan of yours.
Well, she's only human.
She is indeed, KB. But Bette's not a huge fan of our PM, Scott Morrison, which is an excellent segue into a brand new segment, ScoMo. Back in January, Bette was suitably unimpressed by ScoMo's response to the catastrophic bushfires. She tweeted this.
Pity the poor Australians, their country ablaze and their rotten PM saying, this is not the time to talk about climate change. We have to grow our economy. What an idiot. What good is an economy in an uninhabitable country? Lead, you bleepwit.
Pretty strong stuff from Bette there, KB. Imagine calling ScoMo an idiot. But ScoMo just takes criticism like this in his stride. Recently, he doubled down on his indifference to climate change by refusing to commit to the 2050 net zero emissions target. He's obviously lost his glasses, KB, because he's just not reading the room. Boom, boom.
Should have gone to Specsavers, Hammertime.
Good one, KB. Anyway, 70 countries have already signed up to the 2050 emissions target, including China, Japan and Britain. But ScoMo and his fellow cabinet members have been far too busy to focus on climate change. Their priority has been parliamentary tantrums. First, there was ScoMo's hissy fit about the CEO of Australia Post, Christina Holgate. She gave Cartier watches to 4 executives who brokered a successful deal between Australia Post and their major banks. ScoMo exclaimed that these gifts were
disgraceful
and waved his arms around like a baby. His big tanty resulted in a popular CEO being unnecessarily humiliated and forced to resign. Then there was ScoMo's attack dog, Josh Frydenberg. Who let the dog out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dog out? Woof, 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 woof. During question time, the leader of the opposition,
Albo,
dared to move a motion praising Victoria for defeating the second coronavirus wave. This was like a red rag to a bull for Josh. He took this as being a vote of confidence in Daniel Andrews' handling of the pandemic. Josh went totally loco, channeling the great Ken Bruce. Josh Frydenberg's gone mad. Josh Frydenberg's gone mad. Josh Frydenberg has gone completely mad. I think the motion was the last straw for Josh after the result of the opinion polls the day before. Do you have the results, KB?
I do indeed, Hammer Time. Dan the Man, Daniel Andrews, got an approval rating of 52%, whilst the constantly sniping leader of the opposition, Michael Windscreens O'Brien, got an approval rating of 15%.
Bow, bow. And speaking of windscreens, how did he get that nickname? Well, I'm glad I asked me that question. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, way back in 2012, there was a gaming minister in the state Liberal government. His name was Michael O'Brien. Now, we all know that old King Cole was a merry old soul, but poor old Mick was a sensitive human being.
How sensitive, Hammer Time?
Well, he was so sensitive that the Victorian Parliament passed legislation making it a criminal offence to insult gaming minister Michael O'Brien. True story. Fines of up to $11,945 were to be given to anyone found guilty of upsetting poor Michael and his staff. Just before the legislation was introduced, Labor opposition gaming spokesman, the one and only Martin Pakula, had one final dig at the gaming minister. He called him Windscreens O'Brien, because this legislation proves he's got a glass jaw. And the moral of the story is that Windscreens O'Brien can give it, ladies and gentlemen, but he sure as hell can't take it.
And now it's time for Hammer Time's music report.
Thanks, KB. In the past week, we've seen excellent new releases from Bruce Springsteen, Midnight Oil, and Kylie Minogue. These legends are just like Berger paints. They keep on keeping on. And in breaking news from the UK, they've discovered a male poodle with big hair that is a spitting image of Brian May from Queen. They're like twins, KB.
Well, that's incredible, Hammer Time. Tell me more.
Well, in an amazing coincidence, the poodle is also a big fan of Queen's music.
Does he have a favourite Queen song?
He does indeed. His owner says he loves Bohemian Rhapsody, and he barks up an absolute storm. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality.
Hammer Time, I reckon that's better than the original.
Couldn't agree more, KB. The poodle has a big future. And I'll tell you something else that has a big future. This music report segment. It's a keeper. And continuing on with the musical theme, it's time for the Hammer Time sing-along. This episode, our musical masterpiece, is about Daniel Andrews' 120, I repeat, 120 consecutive daily press conferences during the second wave of the pandemic. Each day, the predominantly right-wing media, fueled by the LNP, attempted to undermine Victoria's health response to the pandemic. But remarkably, Dan the Man held firm and stayed the course until the number of daily cases reduced from 725 to 0. This is the story of one man's resilience. It's a reworking of the Elton John classic Rocket Man, and it's called Locket Man.
Everyone right to go?
She packed my lunch last night pre-fight. 0 hour, 11 a.m. And I'm gonna be really fired up by then. I'm ready for you, Rachel. I miss my privacy so much. I miss my life. They're always on my such a right-wing flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time, with numbers low enough for bread to find, that we no longer have to stay at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a locket man. Locket man, standing up at presses all alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time, that in the gallery a friend I'll find. I wish that Credlin would just stay at home. Home, 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 home. I'm a locket man. Locket man, standing up at presses all alone. I'm sick of Frydenberg saying open up. It makes me mad as hell. But Hunt, Josh and ScoMo put the economy first. And all this science they don't understand. It's just my job 7 days a week. And Brett's a locket man. I'm the locket man. I think it's gonna be a long, long time till I can leave the murder press behind and get to spend a lot more time at home. Home, 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 home. I'm a locket man. Locket man, standing up at presses all alone. It's gonna be a long, long time till they write some nice things online. They just don't like my safe and steady steps. Oh no, 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 I'm a locket man. Locket man, standing up at presses all alone.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
100 days and counting.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
I'll be in the Guinness Book of Records.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
So many experts on contact tracing.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
The age used to be independent.
Thanks for nothing, Costello.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
I am governed by headlines.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Geopolitics don't provide a vaccine.
Windscreens.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
We get the numbers low, we can keep them low.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
So when we open, we can stay open.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Any more questions? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. That was Hammer Time on lead vocals and lyrics. David T-Bone Barnett on guitar and backing vocals. And David KB Casey Boy DKS Deeks on nicknames and back announcements.
We hope you enjoyed the 4th episode of the Whimsical Rant. We look forward to your listening company for episode 5 real soon. P.S. Make sure you subscribe so we can feel the love, baby.